when you feel like you're nothing, but you wanna be something. Yeah. Well, all you really need is hope. I just want you to trust me if you wanna be something. That's right. Let's go. Yeah, when you're feeling down and you're out, like you got nothing but doubt, you're alone in the crowd, just trying to figure it out. All of this cloud and this money got you feeling left out. Listen up to me now, every word that's out of my mouth. Wake up, it's me. You gonna follow your dreams, or are you just gonna be another cog in the scene? You feel the hope in this beat, yeah, the hope that you need to proceed and be exactly what you wanted to be. I feel right and I'm proud, hype and I'm loud. I'ma shout all about how I feel in the now. Ain't nobody ever gonna try to change me till I'm dead, pushing up daisies. I'm alone in the crowd, I won't feel down. I got hope right now, and I know I'll be found. I don't really care just what all other haters gotta say. I know everything I do is gonna make them fade away. And when you feel like you're nothing, but you wanna be something. Yeah. Well, all you really need is hope. I just want you to trust me if you wanna be something. Yeah. Then all you really need is hope. Let's go, yeah, it's what you need when you're down, need when you're out, it's what you need when you're sad, and when you feel left out, you feel an energy drop, and then creeps out, but with a little bit of hope, you can figure it out. Keep your head high, even when you're down inside, through the pain you fight, and through the painful nights, you keep striving, keep trying, keep driving, rising, keep thriving, surviving. Nothing's in your way but yourself, don't need nobody's help, you can make it through this hell. Take it one step at a time, one step as you climb. If you fail, you'll be fine, get back up to the grind, and never lose sight of your mission. Be driven, this life is a prison if you don't have vision. You're in it to win it, so get it, don't miss it. Your chances now, so be something somehow. Don't let yourself down. That's right. Sometimes all we really need is hope.
Goodness. You know what I forgot to do? Put shocking, breaking news in the title. Where is everybody at? Yeah, 3 lives in one day. 19 in here? Come on. Where is everybody? It's just Cody Bigsby. Just Cory Bigsby. Hi, Lokamai.
Hello. Hi.
No warning there. I can't. Like, I hate that some of these names just do not ever get the attention that they deserve. And
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
gosh.
yeah. No, get me going on this. I've just started seeing stuff, and I know you're going to talk about this. Sorry, dogs are barking, but yeah, Mariah. Ugh.
Yes. Okay. So this guys, this is a Sleuth mom family member's niece. She has been missing since February the 15th. Initially, it was shared with me, and we weren't sure if we were going to need to like really start spreading awareness and putting out flyers and things like that. But we are to that point now that this girl has been missing. She actually had went through an traffic situation. She was removed from her mother's custody because her mother's PIMP was using her in inappropriate ways, and other situations going on behind the scenes there. She was put into a home with her aunt, and she ran away the same evening that she was placed there in the middle of the night. They woke up, reported her missing instantly. They really didn't even have very many photos of her or any other information because they had only had her for a few hours. And so very, very concerned about where she could have gone, what could be going on with her situation. She's missing in Ochoa, Florida. I know I said that wrong.
I know. I was trying to figure that. I'm like, I have no idea. But
yeah, she's 15 years old, 5'5", 115 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. She does wear glasses. She does have slight acne on her face. When she went missing, she was wearing light blue, a Key West shirt, gray joggers, and a brown jacket. The fear is that she could be in a situation where she could potentially be, trafficking again.
Exactly.
Or be with people who are not a good mix, right? And so that's the concern. This will be on Facebook, Twitter, and all of our community tabs and stuff shortly. I will make sure it gets out there so that you guys can share this. Super, super concerning. So
One
thank you
thing
so
that
much for making that.
Hey, no problem, no problem. One thing that did get me with that is, like you said, there's very few pictures they had. However, the one picture, and I don't know if it's because that was maybe the day that she came home to them, but what she was wearing, okay, bottom half of her outfit, the pants, okay, although actually the jacket also was what you see in that poster. So, from what I'm understanding, now, of course, after so much time, she could have different outfits on. But if you see, especially a jacket like that, that's a telltale right there. But yeah,
Yep.
that's scary because if she was in a situation like that, there's just so many things that are going through your mind. Poor kid is going through trying to deal with all that. And now all of a sudden, yeah,
Yeah,
thoughts,
God only knows
prayers.
what her
This is
mental
not.
state is to begin
Mm,
with everything
yeah,
going on. I mean, she went through this terrible, horrific situation, and then, losing your mom, whether they were a good parent, bad
yes,
parent, it
ma'am.
doesn't matter. Losing your
Exactly.
mom is always a situation too. And
Right.
so
And then you get in your mind, sorry, you get in your mind this thing of when people have used you for one reason or another, our mind plays games with us. And it can become very, very easy for you to kind of fall for people who are telling you they care about you, but truly may not be. And
right.
that's what scares me in this situation is her mind. It has to be any of us. Hell, I'm 52, 53, something like that, and my mind would be all over the place. Okay, she needs that, and that's what she was getting by coming to where she was. It was going to be that nice, stable place that allowed her to grow up, heal, and move forward. So hopefully, we'll get the information out soon. So,
I just went and added breaking news shocking to the title.
ooh,
So that hopefully
always
we
good
can
to
get
add
some more
those
stuff.
in.
We'll just put breaking news shocking.
Dang,
People come in and be
shocking
like, "What's the breaking
news.
news? Is it shocking?" I don't know. We'll
You
find
never know.
out.
You won't know if you come. Yeah, exactly.
Right, you won't know if you come. That's actually a truthful
Yeah,
statement.
that's more like it. Exactly, exactly. So, oh
Okay,
my God.
sorry.
And
Oh,
yeah,
man.
Amy, your mom is your mom, and it doesn't matter what happened. Okay. Yeah, no, it's so much confusion for her right
Right.
now. And the 15th, so the 15th to today, we are talking what,
Yeah, 13 days.
13
She's been gone
days?
nearly
Yeah.
2 weeks. And let me stress the fact that this, um hold on, something just started playing.
Loved ones. Ooh, shocking.
This is something that they do have a look, it brought criminality in. As soon as I changed the title, she's like, "Ooh, what's the breaking shocking news?" No,
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
yes.
But this is something that locally they have put up
One
flyers and
second, I
things
think
like
we're
that.
getting audio. Is that audio coming from you? Wait, it might be me. That's who it is. I've got background. That is
You
what it
had
is. I'm
something
like,
start playing too, that's hilarious. It was the Audrey
yes,
article, wasn't it?
yes, it was the
It just did
Audrey
it to me
article.
too. That's
Yes.
hilarious.
And it said shocking. And I'm like, shocking. And I'm like, oh, wait, they don't know what I'm talking about. This is not good.
Mhm. No, so Amy, that's completely different. This is not the girl who was, seen leaving in a pickup truck. It's different. It's crazy. But the thing is, I wanna stress about the fact that they were already sharing flyers locally and trying to spread the word locally, hesitant to bring things to YouTube, as you guys can
Mhm.
imagine. But
Oh,
we're
yeah.
to that point now, we need more eyes on her case. And so speaking of the girl who was last seen getting into a truck, let me pull that up. And yes, we are going to talk about Cody
Yes,
for
for
sure.
sure. Criminality.
Where are
Yeah,
we at here?
Cody. We've already been talking about what, yeah, there's a lot
Mhm.
to talk about there. But yes.
Okay,
Okay.
so
Is this
this
the
one,
12-year? Yeah.
yes, this is about, let me see here. I just want to make sure I'm under the right
Emily.
one. Yes. I wanted to make sure I was under the right
It is the
article.
right article. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, so
Exactly.
this is Emily Hughes. She has been missing since Thursday, February 22nd out of Missouri City. And so she was last seen getting into a dark Dodge Ram truck on Water Chase Drive in Missouri City around 1:40 a.m. on Friday. After that, the video cuts off, it says. So
Right.
her mom says she was unsure why her daughter would leave, not knowing where she is and what's going on with her. It's okay if she's if she's harmed, if she's alive. Okay. Not knowing where she is, what's going on with her,
Oh,
if she's okay, if she's harmed, if she's alive.
yes.
Very heartbreaking. I had to read that properly.
Yeah,
There were
exactly.
commas in there.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
And so with this one, somebody was asking, why did this take so long for this alert to go out?
Mhm.
Because Texas has passed this
Oh,
law
yep.
um in effect because of the Athena alert, and it's supposed to send out like an Amber alert for everybody who is within 100 miles of that child is supposed to get
Right.
that information that she had gone missing. But the local law enforcement never shared that information out. And so
Is
the
that
question is
what
why?
happened? Okay,
Yes. They
got it.
just now initiated it.
Yeah, I know I was trying because I do know, for example, you don't need the requirement of a vehicle is gone
Mhm.
now, all those things. And Texas is in the lead when it comes to getting Amber Alerts out to begin with. So this is a huge, huge step up. But I couldn't quite figure out what changed it. Did something change in the whole, okay, her case? Or did they,
No,
what
so
you were
she was
saying, they just
reported
forgot?
missing the on the 23rd, Friday the 23rd, but it was never issued until 6 days later. And so that's the big question as to why there was such a delay and what happened. Um, Honestly, I don't know why there
Oh,
was such a delay. I can only surmise that it probably has to do with the fact that she is 12 years
there's some
old. Sorry, I didn't mean to not share that.
no, no, I get you. You get the area. But this is what I noticed with her. She is so small and petite.
She is.
Okay, yeah, she was what, 4'6", something like that. I mean, she doesn't come across so many times you'll see 13-year-olds who seem much more, and not that that makes a difference.
Mhm.
But when I saw her height and all, it actually, my blood kind of went cold
Yeah,
for a
she's
second
tiny.
there. Yeah. And,
She is. And
interesting.
so it's one of those situations where, we constantly look at why do some cases get certain attention and others don't? I mean, did they just assume that she was just a runaway, quote unquote, because of the fact that she willingly got into a truck? And what information changed to make them then declare
Yeah.
that she has now needed that special status of being an Amber Alert, an alert to find out that she's missing. So this is the flyer that Locumai made. I did share this on my community tab yesterday or earlier today. Was that today? How many lives have I
Oh, it
done?
doesn't even feel like it. It does not feel
Oh,
like it.
jeez. But she did
Yeah.
make this flyer, and so if you guys wanna share that out, that information is on there. So, that's really all we know so far, though, sadly.
Yeah. I know I just came across something which shows her getting into the vehicle.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm trying
okay.
to pull it up right now. There was a quick screenshot of it, but it might be an article. Give me just of course I get article commercials first. What is life without commercials first?
Mhm.
Um, but this is from KHOU, which usually does really good. I mean, for Audrey, they did a great job, but they're actually mentioning trafficking potentials in this case. And
Anytime that you
usually,
have a
yeah.
teen runaway that looks like they got lured out of the house, I mean, there's
Mhm.
potential for that, right? And so
Right.
that's where they get scary, and that's why it's so important to know where they went. I hope that they have taken her devices if she
Right.
didn't take them with her and looked into
Right.
that information.
Okay. You know what? I have not. I'm about 30 seconds into this. If you want to play it, I can pull it up. It actually has her singing. Um, they have some of her, it looked like TikTok of hers. Let's see.
I was gonna say
Sorry.
you can send it to me if it's not working to pull. Oh, there you go.
Ah, there it is. There it is. Okay. So I went kind of a little forward because I don't know if there's any the music
Yeah.
stuff and all So, but here we go.
This Southwest Houston neighborhood and beyond to find her. This 12-year-old girl is Amani Hughes. She loves posting TikToks, cooking, and hairstyling.
She's the boss. She's the boss.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she runs everything. And it's just so hard. It hurts.
Imani's mom, Shannon Williams, says on Thursday night her daughter asked her to wake her up for school early. About 30 to 35 minutes later, Williams says she checks in each of her kids' rooms.
She's not there. And it's been 6 days. I haven't heard anything from her. No contact, no, nothing.
Houston police say she left in a dark Dodge Ram pickup truck. Video of her last sighting shows her walking towards the truck outside her house around the time of her disappearance. Houston police believe that Amani might be a trafficking victim, but her family tells us they're not sure why she would leave.
And not knowing where she is, what's going on with her, if she's okay, if she's harmed, if she's alive, and it's heartbreaking.
Houston police tell us Amani was reported missing the day of the disappearance, but the Amber Alert was issued days later after detectives got additional information.
Like I said, everybody is depressed. Is depressing at this moment because we don't have anything right now in the Amber Alert just being issued out.
Wow.
And the mom says that Amani was wearing a white crop top and pink joggers. Now, she also had an Android tablet with her, but attempts to track that tablet have been unsuccessful. Now, if you know anything about this case, you're asked to contact Houston police. We're live in Southwest Houston. Troy.
Okay, I'm going to stop that there. But that worries me with the whole thing about her tablet. Because if it was just she going out with some guy that she met or a friend that she met on the internet or something like that, why are they shutting down her tablet like they've done? This is not sounding good at all. And waiting that long, especially that they have the ability. They're not being held back by the law. Okay, the rules of, oh no, if don't have a vehicle, you can't do anything. That should have been out earlier.
No, I agree. And the fact is they have a vehicle in this situation.
Yeah.
So
yeah, true.
If anything, it should have made it go out faster. We got to stop assuming that every single person, over the age of 9, 10, is just another runaway.
Exactly.
I can't stand that. That's like my least favorite thing. So then the other Amber Alert that is still active is Noah Johnson. He was first reported missing from Texas February 8th, and he is believed to be with his mom. He does have congestive heart failure, and so that is something that is extremely concerning because he does need medical help. But Camilla, his mom, does allegedly have him. So it says February 6th is the last time that Noah Johnson was last seen in Texas. When the Houston area authorities sent their original Amber Alert was February 8th. February 16th, the Houston area discontinued their Amber Alert because they believed that Camilla had left the area and was headed to Kansas City, where she has family and is from. So on February 26th, she was last known to be seen near a Walmart on 133rd and State Line. And on February 27th is when they set out the Amber Alert. So he does have a serious heart condition. Like I said, he does require medication. Mom is the suspect in this case. She does not have custody of him.
Not anymore.
She is believed to be in a 2007 white GMC Yukon with Texas license plate number STM 7097. So let me see.
And I know in this case, part of the Amber Alert ended up being in Missouri also.
Right.
So even though it started with you're definitely already seeing different states involved. And I don't know, I haven't been able to look into it deeply enough, but I think she may have had custody at one point here. And then the government, the state of Texas, took it away, something tells me, as part of this. But I'm not sure the exact timing from the articles I read.
Yeah. And so again, this is a flyer that Localmi made. This is mom. Let me see if I can.
Just-
No, it's just going to keep getting smaller. So here we go. So she is 38 years old, brown hair, hazel eyes, 5'4", 170 pounds. This is a picture of the vehicle that they are believed to be in. And so that is going to be available for you guys to share as well. And I'm sorry that it seems like we're taking a long time to get to Cody, guys, for everybody who is here for that. But these cases, these Amber Alerts will always be priority
Yep.
whenever we have back-to-backs, especially like this.
Yes.
So Sebastian, do you want to talk about Sebastian a little bit? Because I know that you have a little bit
Yeah.
more information on this.
Well,
Do you want me to play the
Sebastian.
video first, or do you want
Yeah, play
go ahead.
that. Go for that. Go for that. Now, give
Okay.
me a second.
Why would drug dealers put a lethal dose of fentanyl in drugs?
Good question.
That is a good question.
Yes. Yeah, no, this one's a little worrisome because of the autism.
Yes, and he's been missing for 3 days now.
Scary. And it's cold and stormy.
3 days ago near Beach High School in Hendersonville. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Carrie Sharp.
I'm Rory Johnston. Authorities upgraded the case from an endangered child alert to an Amber Alert just yesterday. They did so for a couple of reasons, including the harsh drop in temperatures and the fact that Sebastian needs his medicine.
Aaron Cantrell joins us now from Northfield Church in Gallatin, where a vigil is getting underway. Aaron, it's like this young man just vanished.
Yeah, Carrie and Rory, that's what it feels like, because we are on day 3 and crews, they have been out all day searching the area, but community members, they felt the need to do something. So they're hosting this prayer vigil, coming together, hoping and praying that he does come home safely. Now, a lot of people want to get out in the community to help search, but first responders say just leave that to them. But this is the best way they can help, by praying and also just hoping he does return home. Now, the 15-year-old, they are asking you all to be on the lookout for him, and they say if you do happen to see him, just remain calm.
Our big concerns is the weather, the rain from this morning, the drop in temperature, the wind, and then tonight we're going to be cold.
Day 3 of the search for Sebastian Rogers continues. The autistic teen was last seen near Stafford Court in Hendersonville, wearing a black sweatshirt, black sweatpants, and glasses. Hundreds of trained professionals from departments across Middle Tennessee have been conducting searches with the assistance of horses, dogs, and specialized technology like drones. They've expanded their search efforts and have been paying very close attention to bodies of water.
Many people on the spectrum love water, whether they swim or not. Just the calming nature of water tends to be a place that attracts them. Ponds, lakes, swimming pools. Obviously, we're in Hendersonville, so we've got a lot of water around us.
Sebastian also takes medication. So Jessica Moore, the executive director of Autism Tennessee, says it's important to find him quickly.
Someone who is used to routine, who has a daily schedule, who has just different aspects of their lives that's just repetitive every day. It can be very stressful to not have those pieces in place.
Authorities have asked neighbors to check their property, including crawl spaces, sheds, small areas he could be hiding at. Moore thinks Sebastian could be a sensory seeker.
Someone who enjoys a lot of pressure, deep pressure. I think he likes to hide, and that those more confined spaces are calming.
And if you see him, remain calm.
Approaching slowly, with calm words, with a calm demeanor. I'm sure that he's feeling a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. At least I would be in that situation.
She's hopeful they will find Sebastian. Now, this is personal for Moore because she's also a mother and has kids herself, but she also lives here in this Hendersonville community. So she is hoping for the best. Now, this prayer vigil is getting underway now. Now, authorities say the best way that you can help during this is attend events like this, but also keep sharing the poster of Sebastian, and hopefully he is coming home safely. I'll send it back to you all.
Oh, we hope so. Aaron, thank you.
Yeah, no, they covered a lot of what was being shared with me. Dementia and autism both of these cases, we have a lot of people who end up wandering, whether it's dementia wandering or autism, where they get out and they either are doing what the sensory seeking, okay, looking for water, or just trying to get out and get energy, all these different things. But the way we deal with them is different. If you approach someone who is autistic the way you would say someone who is not, if you see them walking down, you're like, hey, how are you doing? You do that, you're liable to scare them off. So I think that's been part of the concern that they've had, is putting out an Amber Alert ups that energy heavily. The problem is they don't want that energy level to actually hold back the chance of getting Sebastian back. So, for example, if Sebastian is walking around and he hears tens of people saying, Sebastian, where are you? Where are you, Sebastian? He might actually hide rather than come out. So it's more of the thing, how do you deal with a case like that? If you see someone who is autistic, dementia, or whatever, do you just watch them out of the corner of your eyes and call 911 and let someone who's trained come, unless the person gets in danger? If you see them getting ready to walk into a stream or something like that, because, for example, water for autism. So I know that's been a huge concern, and that's why what they're doing is trying to give the community a way to come together through like the vigil, so they can come together and help out, which is what all of us want to do. Every one of us, if you've ever been somewhere where something like this is happening, you want to be there to help. But this is one of those cases where do you find that balance? So that's what I'm getting from some of the other people who have contacted me. I've had a few people contact me on Messenger with those comments, and I can see it from the dementia. It's very much like dementia. So
Yep. I agree. Do you want to talk about Elijah now and Audrey, or do you want to go ahead and get into Cody? Which do you prefer? Okay. And so,
since so many are waiting for him.
Yeah, let me pull that up. Oh, goodness.
Yes, if people,
I have
Music City, yes.
separate.
Sorry, Music City. Yeah.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. I have separate.
No, Music City just made a comment. People looking in their sheds, looking in buildings, looking underneath things and all that, rather than the setting of search parties with grid searches and stuff like that. So sorry about that, Sleuth.
You're fine. I was gonna say I have a separate like window thingy pulled up for each. Let me show you.
The reason
so
why
many
I need to get me
screens
my
pulled up.
extra screen.
Yeah.
It's interesting when you only have one or two screens and you've got way too many things. Oh,
See all the tabs there? That's all Cody. And then I had this one. Well, I was exited out of the Amber Alerts as we went. And then I have this one,
Elijah,
so that I didn't lose this. Which actually we can watch this first. This is Cory Bigsby leaving court because let's see, when was this? This was back in October. So just a few months ago, because he is a free man. Out of all of the other missing kiddos and stuff that we are seeing right now, Cory Bigsby was held for a very long time on the child neglect charges, and then they charged him with murder and let him out. And that was one of the biggest things that completely baffled me, and really makes you wonder because oops, my bad. Really makes you wonder because they wouldn't let him out, and then they up his charges and let him walk out. And I don't know. It's always been something
and
that
we've
bothers
already
me.
know. Yeah, this case has been an issue from the beginning, because you remember I posted stuff on Instagram and literally there were people fighting, in Instagram over things. It's just, yeah. I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense. But so you're going to hear Rhoda. This is why I pulled this video up. She talks a little bit about, well, first of all, you get to see Cory walking out. This isn't when he was released, but it is a court hearing, not too far after when he was released. He was released in, I think, July. And so He was released and is wearing basically an ankle monitor. The only place he's allowed to come and go to is the jail, or not the jail, the courthouse. He's not allowed to do anything else. He's on house arrest. Yeah, he's guilty, allegedly.
Allegedly. We have those favorite words that we love.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
want to
so,
just get a tattoo so I never have to say it ever again.
just put it up
God.
really big in the background. It can be
Exactly.
next to
Everything
Ariel on
is
the wall.
alleged. Yeah, exactly.
You're not familiar with this one. Okay. So let me go down through. Oh, where did my tab just go? There it is.
I've gotten to the point where I actually message all of my tabs before live to myself because I'm scared my computer's going to crash
So you're going to
and I'm
close
going to lose
something.
everything. Knock on wood. I'm saying that right now. But yeah.
I just message my office assistant, Seal, and then she sends them all to me again.
She's paying you good, isn't she, Seal? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so this is Cody Bigsby. Cody Bigsby was reported missing, allegedly was last seen at 2 a.m. on January the 31st of 2022. He was last seen allegedly leaving his townhome wearing black clothing and Spider-Man flip-flops. At the time of his disappearance, he was alleged to be 4 years old, 3 feet tall. We found out later that Cody had likely been missing since sometime before Thanksgiving, potentially all the way to September.
Yeah. So,
And we'll go through the letters since a lot of you guys likely don't know about the letters and stuff.
yeah.
So this is one of those cases that shortly after Ariel, all of this stuff happened, and I had already been convinced that shoes are just a red flag,
Yeah.
right? You tell me that a child
Yes.
under the age of 5 wandered
Taking
off
their
in the middle of the night with their shoes on, I am going to call you guilty on every single case. 100%.
Bingo.
Don't you
Oh,
ever
yeah.
come tell me that somebody went
Oh my
missing from your home
God.
with their shoes on in the middle of the night.
It was
'Cause
like
I
the
don't believe
in
you.
thing. Every kid wears shoes to bed from now on. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Ridiculous.
Yes, and he is still missing. He has never been found. Now, his father was taken into custody very early in this case. The very first press conference, the police chief came out and he basically indicated that the parents could potentially be involved. During the second press conference, he eliminated mom from that because mom actually did not have custody of the children at that time. Dad was taking care of them. And during that second press conference, he came out and straight up called Cory to the carpet and basically was like, "Where is Cody?" So they took him in for questioning, and during this questioning that they had him in, his lawyer had attempted to go into the police station multiple times while he was being questioned. Rhoda was actually there filming at the time that the lawyer was trying to get in. The police officers would not let her in. Cody admitted to neglecting his children. He admitted to leaving them home alone on multiple occasions. He admitted to, you know, basically just child neglect, right?
He
And
admitted to a
so,
lot of stuff. Yeah.
yeah. And so everything that he said after the first, I believe it was 30 minutes, was thrown out. Everything. And they had held him there, what was it? Was it 72 hours? It was a
I think it
really
was
long
getting
time. I
pretty
had to go back
close.
and look.
Yeah, it was pretty dang close to that.
They
Honestly,
kept
yeah, there's
saying
still
that
a
he
lot of
was
that.
there on his own and that he was there willingly and things like that. But meanwhile, his sister, his lawyer, different people were trying to get in to see him and could not. They also would not let him, speak with them. And so then it became a situation where you had one side of people advocating for Cody and where is he? The whole we should waterboard the adults. I fully believe that we should waterboard the adults in these cases because,
Oh, yeah.
in my opinion, he knows where he is, right? So why can't we just waterboard them until we have an answer?
Sort of answer.
And apparently the police officers felt similar.
Felt the same way.
I mean,
Yeah,
they didn't
exactly.
waterboard him, but they did violate his
His rights.
civil rights. And so somewhere around that time frame, this case split into
Yeah.
people advocating
Right-based.
for Cory and his civil rights, rather than advocating for finding this missing child. You know, we've seen
Exactly.
Black Lives Matter and Rhoda and other people get involved and really just be almost like a cheerleading squad for this guy
Mhm.
who is allegedly unalived his child at
They
this point.
forgot what the whole thing was about to be. And I get you. I
Mhm.
completely get it. People have rights. There's a reason why we have these rights, and we need to make sure we're not crossing those lines. But you know what? When you forget the reason why the person is there to begin with, okay, I mean, Cody has rights too.
Mhm.
Okay, and I think, sorry, I'm getting a little heated.
No, you're
And,
fine.
but yeah,
This is one of those things that Loco, it's a good thing to have her here for stuff like this because like, we've actually had a conversation before about people in
we
jail
have.
for certain things, and I'm like, "We shouldn't feed them, we shouldn't provide medical care, we shouldn't give them, like, anything." For example, earlier today in the Elijah Vue case, I said that Jesse should be made to stand and
Yeah,
have like,
yeah,
something affixated to his legs so that he can never sit. You know, I don't think that people like that deserve,
no.
you know, and
Yeah.
Locomai's like, "Well, they're still humans," and I'm like, "Ugh."
Well, it's like the other day when Gianna's licensed, whatever you want to call her. I'm like, yeah, but she was beat up, but she's got a baby right now. She's pregnant right
Mhm.
now. And da, 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 da. But yeah, no, it's my problem is, you know what? Yes, rights are there, but the problem is when when does one person's rights overdo someone else's?
Right.
And right now, I'm sorry, but when it comes to Cory, everyone's thinking, oh, no, no, Cory's rights are what matter. No, Cody's rights matter too. And someone needs to speak up for him.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I agree. I agree. And so that's kind of like this whole case in a nutshell, right? We're going to go more into this, especially during the trial and stuff. We're going to hopefully get to see the trial. Here's the issue. I have not found not one news source saying that they are going to be covering the trial. I have found
Yep.
not one document from the courts saying that there would be a poll camera. Court TV has not updated things since I believe November was their last
Yep.
post about Cody. Um, and so my office assistant Seal is going to reach out to
Yes.
she's going to reach out to the courthouse tomorrow for us and find out, is there going to be a camera? Are we going to get to see justice for this baby? Dina, I wish I was kidding you. Here's what we got off of the last court hearing from the other day. Let me pull
This
this up.
goes back to rights while you're pulling that up. This basically goes back to rights again. It's like here in Hawaii. There are no, okay, you get pool coverage and that's it. And it comes back to rights, the right of the person. So,
Yeah. So this was the last hearing, and this is how much of it we got. Let me pull this down. This is how much of the last hearing that we got. I think his video is 2 minutes after it comes on.
after all this, yeah, exactly.
I think the
We
ads
gotta
might be
get our
longer than the actual
ads.
video.
Yeah, yeah. No, Craig, I wanted to see this one too, and both of us have been looking. We can't find it.
Accused of killing 6-year-old Cody Bigsby and concealing his body appeared in Hampton Court this morning. The hearing was to determine if 2 specific witnesses would be allowed to testify ahead of his trial next month. Sarah Hammond tells us what happened in the courtroom today.
A judge decided 2 witnesses listed to speak on behalf of Bigsby's mental health will not be allowed to testify. Bigsby's legal team wanted to have the 2 doctors who determined if he was fit to stand trial on the witness list.
Here's what bothers me. They obviously have a camera in the courtroom.
Yep.
Why can't we have the full video? Like, if somebody knows how to get this full video, tell me how, because I need that information.
Yep.
They claim they wanted jurors to hear how Bigsby's mental health was while in jail. The Commonwealth argued the doctors were only hired to determine if Bigsby could stand trial, nothing more. The judge ultimately sided with the Commonwealth and took the two doctors off the witness list. The Hampton father reported his son missing in January of 2022. This past June, prosecutors filed charges against Bigsby for his son's murder. Bigsby's trial is set to begin March 4th here in Hampton. Sarah Hammond for 13 News Now.
So my intentions are to hopefully find out if we can stream it and stream it if we can, right?
Yeah.
If not, then I guess we will take all of the snippets that we can get from the reporters that may be sitting in the courtroom and put together a story at the end of each day. Because I'm sorry, but I want to follow through justice for this baby.
Exactly. And we know that the various media outlets got approval to have cameras in there at one point.
Right.
And I'm sure it's like Hawaii. They had to apply for that and all. Okay. So there's still, unless something new has come down saying, no, we're taking away all that approval, there should be something there.
Mm-hmm.
It just frustrates me that our system is a public system. Okay. It should be, at least. Oh, sorry, my thought, but yeah.
Hopefully we can get some more information tomorrow afternoon, though. I just want to tell you guys that somebody said that real true crime channels, I can't remember who I was listening to.
Real
It was Lip Lock No More this morning. I think it was Lip Lock No More. Was that today or yesterday? She said something about, she was like, I hate to break it to you guys, but most of the channels that you are watching that you consider to be true crime are not true crime, they're crama. And, you know, she was like having a little heart to heart with her chat or whatever. And she was like, real true crime channels have, you know, employees or, you know, like all the, and she was like,
You
saying,
got the employee, girl.
I have Seal. So we are she works for really good emojis and occasionally
pat on the head.
Yeah. She works so that I go live whenever she sends me things, and then she's like, here you go, go talk for a couple hours. But
I love it.
I was cracking up. Yeah, she was on a roll this morning. She really
gotta
was.
go back and watch that one. Was that before your live?
Yeah, this morning. Mm-hmm.
Okay, while I was actually sleeping then. Okay, got it. I gotta go back and watch that then.
That's how I got my day started. But all right, let's watch this video. This is what I was gonna pull up.
And yes.
Was you wonder why?
What's that?
Oh, I was just gonna, I heard it on the X was talking. Did they find his body? No, they have not found his body, which makes it harder, okay, to get this verdict of guilty and get justice. Okay, but it is possible. But the problem is there's been a lot of mess ups on this one. I'll be honest with you from the get-go. Could cause problems.
Right. I can't remember what I was gonna say. I don't know. Let me play this. She cracks me up. That's what I was gonna say. She cracks me up how she runs after every single person that walks out of this courthouse. I'm not gonna play the whole video though. I just want you guys to see Cory.
That found the letter. They said it was 2 people, 2 females. Do that lady really have COVID? And is that the reason why she didn't come to court? What type of treatment do y'all? Who wanted the fried chicken? Who wanted the fried chicken? Who wants the fried chicken? Which one of y'all are in charge of the regional jail? Is it true that child boy, Cory Bigsby family fried chicken? Well, he can testify.
So this is Cory here in the black with the white thing.
Cory Bigsby, do you think they treated you unfairly? I was the one that discovered that your rights was violated when they did not give you the lawyer. I'm the one that opened your case up to the next level when they were trying to prosecute you without due rights. I was out the courtroom for you and witnessed that your lawyer was trying to see you and they refused to. How you feeling? Thank you, Cory Bigsby. Thank you, auntie. Thank you, sister.
It's in the motion.
So for a while, we had seen him in jail, and he was looking bad.
He
Like, I
really
don't know if you
was.
remember how bad he was
Oh,
looking,
he
but
was. Yeah.
he looks healthier in this, now that he's been out. I can't get it to go still on him, apparently. Yeah, take a deep breath. Listen, she was running around for 20 minutes. Literally. Like from one person to the next. Like she just bolts after people and asks all the
I'm gonna
dang
get every
questions.
bit. Exactly. Every answer, I will make sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like that's how I know I could never be boots on the ground, because I am not running and talking at the same time. Like there's no way.
Oh, yeah. No, no. It's hard enough just walking and talking, not running. Forget the running bit. So.
Right.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay. So this one, let me see here. So let me go over the letters with you guys, for those of you guys who are newer to Cody's case. So Cory Bigsby had allegedly wrote different jailhouse confessions throughout his stay in jail. They were found by a guard, or he had them written down by guards at one point, things like that, in order to what am I going to do here?
Trying to get it right.
Is it going to let me switch it? Let me do this. This one's uploaded sideways, so let's do
got
this.
it. I know you get into those fun ones.
So he had written these confessions, and it was alleged that he was forced to write these confessions in order to see his family. And that they had him write these in order to get chicken. That's what she was asking. Who bought the chicken? In order to get chicken and to have a visit with his loved ones. Okay, and so the first one says this one was written by a jail officer, and then he had Cory sign it, and which it's going to be difficult apparently so that you can actually see it. But that one, it says 12 a.m. found my son unresponsive. Tried to CPR, could not revive him. Tried several times. I begged God to save him. I decided and walked outside and spoke with God, but I can't read regular English, let alone the handwriting. But
Handwriting, yeah.
check on my son to see if he was breathing, and tried along to realize he was not coming back. I put him in trash bag, put in can, and sat for 3 days. And then he said that he put him at Building Gray on something Boulevard. We actually pulled this up on a video and went to the street address where he said that he put him. And police actually did a search at this address also. And obviously they did not recover Cody there. And so essentially he says that he went there. This is where he said that he buried them. And it says second tree, head faced building, feet something trash. I don't know.
And
trash build around, maybe
unnamed. Around, that could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Of
Whoever the
course, I'm
guard
sitting
was
there like
had
this. This is going to be a great video right here.
This wasn't even written by him, Seal. This wasn't even written by him. This was written by a guard, and then they had him sign it afterwards. That's why there's like these random numbers. It's like the guard just had this random piece of paper and like scribbled it down. So then this one was written on August of 2022. It says, I, Cory J. Bigsby Sr., am confessing that on the 30th of January 2022, stepped outside of my apartment at 171 Ranlit Drive to get to get some items out of my car to wash clothes. And when I returned, I found my son Cody Josiah Bigsby laying at the bottom of the steps unresponsive. Now, keep in mind that police have already discovered that Cory was likely missing since September. So this right off the bat is garbage, right?
Yeah.
Right off the bat, this is not truthful. So he must have fallen. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say what's so frustrating is because of what happened at the beginning with his rights and all. I think he just decided, let's play games with this all the time. Okay, so it became a game. Okay, to Cory, and rather than anything else, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
what else can I say? What else can I do that makes things look? Yeah.
Well, in the defense, once they found out about this, tried to get him declared insane. And then they also tried to get these thrown out. And that's one of the things that the judge ruled on, is that these can be presented in court. Poor baby Lioness, we have not even gotten to what the horrible part in this is. And that's just a pre-advanced trigger warning because it's horrible. So he said that he found him lying at the bottom of the steps unresponsive. He must have fallen. I then tried to revive him by administering CPR several times over and over until I couldn't get any more. Then I prayed, stepped outside for a few minutes, talked to God as I prayed, and asked God to allow my son a second chance. Then I returned and administered CPR again, but got response, so I panicked and prayed. After that, I placed him into a trash bag and put him into the back of my truck on the 31st of January. At around 3:30 a.m., I took him to Garrett A. Morgan Boulevard, placed him into a receptacle bin. After I realized it was trash can, took him out and put him into a hole I dug beside a tree inside a tree line. He had tape around his ankles and wrist, a cowboy's rug under him, Beats headphones in his ears. Then I ate and placed his bike and some trash after I ate at the scene. So then the next one was written on the 8th of January of 2023. It says, on the 31st of January 2021, I, Bigsby Cory J., attempted to perform CPR on Cody Josiah Bigsby, and it did not work. It's like, to me, he was writing multiple drafts to see which one he liked the best.
Yeah. Which actually works well, what doesn't work well, take out what doesn't work well. Okay, add this. We definitely have here, 2 times the CPR. Okay, that sounds good. Let's keep that going. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So I attempted to perform CPR again. It did not work. So I took him to the building 551 on Garrett A. Morgan Boulevard and buried him behind the building, and I walked away. Then I drove home and prayed to Jesus to save Cody, and I failed him. So I am becoming tired of the torture. So now I am confessing because my family and the police is conducting these crimes, and I cannot take it anymore. So this one coming next, guys, was written on the 5th of November of 2022. So before the other ones that we read. And this one, I think, is actually close to what actually happened. And trigger warning in advance, because it is why I think that waterboarding needs to be legal. So it says, on the 18th of June, 2021. Now, mind you, police know that he was missing since at least September. And so this one sounds closer.
Yeah.
I, Cory Bigsby, walked into the room and grabbed Cody and dragged him into the kitchen, thumped his head on the floor, and beat him with my fist. And he went into cardiac arrest. I tried to perform CPR. Then he did not respond. Then I went upstairs with Cody and put him into the tub.
What is it with tubs?
I don't know. They always think that like tubs are going to miraculously revive the child after they beat them to death.
How many times did it actually revive them in the past for them to get that thought process?
I know. And it's horrible to think about. Yeah. Then I wet him up to see if he would respond. He did not, so I held him and prayed to God that he bring my baby back. Then I took him in the room and laid him in the bed. Then I went, I think it says the car, and got a flashlight and charged it. Then I went to the gas station, got gas. Then I went to the store and got snacks. Then I went to the restroom and I pooped and wiped it on Cody. And I went to the empty car wash and put Cody in a bag. Then I drove back home and put Cody in the fridge. Then I put Cody in the car again and drove him to building 551 and dug a hole by the tree and buried him. Then went home and prayed for forgiveness. Yeah, you're fine. I'm all right. I just get so angry, like, reading through this
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's beyond.
I went home and prayed for forgiveness and then went to King's Dominion the next day. And I went to the hospital and I dumped my clothes from the crime in the trash and burned them. Then the next day I went back to burn Cody and cover up the scars from the beatings. Then I went home and took a bath with DJ. Please accept my confession.
You know what gets me there? He's sitting here talking about burning. Okay, getting rid of everything by burning, but then covered up the scars. Unless he's ever had to worry about covering up scars before, why is he worrying about covering up scars if he's planning on burning him? I mean, he's telling us so much more about what has happened in other times that all of it's kind of coming together into one picture here. And because I'm sorry, if he really was planning on disposing of Cody that way, there's no need to cover anything up with makeup or anything like that. Yeah, Chase. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And this one, I think, is it's probably not even beginning to cover the beginning of the surface. If this is what you were willing to write down, what actually happened, right? Because we never admit to the fullest extent of our crimes.
True. No, very true. Very, very true. And if you look at that, certain things are repeated, okay, in the later comments there, okay? The CPR, the tree, the building. It's just, this is the only time all of it kind of comes together. And so, yeah, I think this is probably the closest to the truth we're going to get.
Yep.
Unless they find him.
And it's disturbing because, like, okay, so now this can be presented to the jury, right? With the other letters. And I hope to God, whenever the police were searching, that they found something, right? We know that they checked his drains, they checked the sewage by his house, they checked everywhere, but he wasn't reported missing until 6 months after June 18th.
Yep.
Or no, 7 months. 7 months. January 31st.
Yep, exactly. End of the month.
And so how much evidence was still inside of his drains or still inside everywhere?
Sorry, Lioness. Let me turn up my mic some.
I was going to say, I can just turn mine down a little bit too.
I've
that
got
way.
mine up.
Okay,
I turn mine down during karaoke streams and I forget to turn it back up later.
Gotcha.
And yeah, no, there's so much within this. You hope they found stuff because unfortunately with what happened with rights and what they did and didn't do, correct and all. It's pulled back a lot of potential evidence, I think. Okay, and it's probably made it harder to get the truth out of everything. So I'm hoping they have some really strong evidence on this, especially without having Cody here.
Right. No, I agree. And we've been dealing with all this crap leading up to everything with his with the different appeals, and his lawyers are filing everything they can.
Oh, yes.
You know, we see that in a lot of these cases, right? They're going to file motions to dismiss. They're going to file, to get evidence withheld. They're going to file
Right.
for all of that stuff. But the issue is, in every other case we see them file those things, there hasn't been a civil rights violation.
Right. And that's what has scared me since day one with that, because I could tell just the amount of fighting that was going on internally to try to make sure that, okay, he didn't have to take, because there's family in this case that really strongly feel, okay, my loved one could never do something like this. And I don't blame them. Okay, if I found out one of my loved ones did something like this, I don't think I would be able to accept it at first either. And then when I did, it probably would not be a good thing. And all because I'd get very mad. But yeah, no, he's never been found. And because of everything going on, I don't think he has any reason to, at least in cases like, okay, we talk about Ariel's case. At least we feel like, you know what, this is taking forever to get to trial and stuff like that. But there's still a chance that one of them will speak up, okay, to save themselves from some sort of forever in prison. In this case, I think he believes strong enough that he has civil rights abuses
Yeah.
that there's no need for him to do that.
No, I agree. And then the other side of things is, I'm curious what the siblings are going to say, because Cody did have an older sibling and then two younger siblings. So that older sibling
Mhm.
is going to likely have some type of, information, which how will we hear that?
Yeah.
In the West Boys with Classic and Sincere, they did have the older sibling testify. But then, in Gannon Stouck's case, we never heard from Lena because it wasn't necessary. There was enough evidence, right? And
True.
so is this going to be a situation where somebody else could have potentially heard this happening,
Right.
or is able to say like, "Hey, my dad abused him all the
Right.
time."
Yeah.
The other children are involved in these charges because of the neglect charges and things like that. And
Yeah.
so, I don't
And
know.
that's sad for them as children that they're having to speak up. And
Mhm.
Lena didn't have to get put through the stress and stuff of that, but because of how this case is falling in front of us, okay, laying out in front of us, there's most likely a sibling who is going to have to go through all this now. And yeah, that's gather and protest by the yeah.
The video moving was, like, bothering me out of the corner of my eye, so I was trying to make it stop. I was gonna pause it, and then it started talking.
Well,
Um,
we'll start talking about people talking on stream
yeah.
again. Yeah. So,
Lisbeth
but
was
yeah, no.
saying that he's just like Adam Montgomery, and in ways, he is, but in other ways, like, I don't wanna say, like,
Calculating is what I'm
he's
worried about.
worse or whatever, but he does have that military background, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he does have potentially, not necessarily, because not all branches of the military
Mhm.
are equal, let me stress that.
Yeah.
We don't know the type of training, we don't know what he
Right.
actually knows and things like that. Um, but obviously smarter in some senses, except for the fact that he wrote this down on paper and it
Yeah.
was found.
He seems
Um
more calculating to me.
Mhm.
Okay. And that's what, and I don't know if it's he that is calculating or people he's talking with that are very calculating.
Yeah.
And
Roberta Harley did have to testify, but she was much older
yes.
than the ages of the children that we are talking about for sure. He's out of Montgomery minus the drugs. The fact that he defecated and wiped his child on it.
Yeah. The anger that was still going on at that point, knowing that his son was already gone and to still have that amount of anger in him.
Right. Like, how can you allege that you are praying to God to save him and you're so sad and all these things, but then you defecate and wipe your child on it?
Yeah. No. And
So
all I can say is at the end, God will be able to have his discussion with him at some point in the future.
yeah. So this one, let me see here. So this is about his attorney, and I wanted to see if it mentions him. This lady is running, his attorney is running for some type of office.
Oh, yeah.
And people are like really digging into her because they're wondering, like, is this a conflict of interest since she's running for office basically to see what's going on there.
Right.
Hold on.
And Cray, yeah, military does not train people to hurt children by any means. I mean, I grew up an Army brat, and some of the greatest parents I ever saw came out of military backgrounds. Unfortunately, there are some that are just.
I think I'm more worried about, like, okay, so I'm not saying that he was trained to hurt them or anything like that, but could he know more about getting rid of
Torture,
certain
yeah.
types of evidence or torture or, whatever? And that's more along my lines of thinking.
No. I
So,
get you.
but hopefully we can find somebody who is going to be airing the trial. Like I said, I came over to Court TV and their last update on this case. Where'd it go? Oops. Oh, here it is.
Lisbeth, what was he angry about? That's the thing. I don't think, to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if everything that he was angry about had nothing to do with Cody. It's just Cody was the punching bag, for lack of another word.
Sadly, these kids, like, I mean, there's really no rhyme or reason behind the why of why these children get beaten and abused and all the things. But what I was going to say was Court TV has not done an update since November the 8th on this case. And it hurts my heart because we talk about how some of these cases, and granted, I understand that not every case can be filmed and put on the air and things like that because there just isn't enough cameras in the world to watch every single trial. But it bothers me so bad because this happened a month like it wasn't even that far away from everything with Harmony, and his case never got big.
It never got it.
It never got big, it never got attention, he never got the press that he deserved, and I feel like we are still in the same freaking situation when it comes to his trial. Like, I hope to God we are able to show this, because he deserves to have people watch justice be served, and if it's not going to be served because of these civil rights violations and things like that, then there needs to be more accountability than just,
See, making something secret cannot be used as a way to escape having the truth come to the surface. I mean, we're dealing with that right now with Ariel's case, where we literally are keeping things quiet as a way not to have to deal with it. And that's kind of what's happening here. If no one is looking, good night, Chase. If no one is able to speak for him and share what is going on with him, especially if you're talking, we're in the last, 4 or 5 days before trial starts, and no one is giving an update saying, hey guys, this is coming up next week. If they were going to be covering this, you would think they'd already be kind of doing some pre-trial. Okay, hey, this is popping up on Monday. Don't forget. Okay, this is past what happened to Cody, okay, all that, just to kind of get interest up. I hate saying it that way, but that's what it is. And you don't see it
Mm-hmm.
after the CRV accusation.
The most up-to-date thing is this right here. This is from yesterday morning, and it says about him remaining out on bail.
Bigsby bond with restrictions. Hampton Commonwealth's attorney Anton Bell appealed the decision. Bell told a judge Bigsby is a danger to the community and has a history of going AWOL in the military. Cory is charged in his son Cody's death, although the boy's body has never been found. Cody was reported missing in January of 2022.
24 seconds.
Doesn't make sense.
I hate it. Like, there just needs to be more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's not an afterthought. It's not saying cover from sun up to sundown, but this child is not an afterthought. And that's kind of what it's leading a lot of people to think right now. And what's the reason? Is it because of the civil rights things going on? Is it because, and I hate to bring it up, but we deal with this over and over, is he not the look that people look for when it comes to cases people cover? What's the reason? There's got to be a reason there somewhere. People care about him, so it's not that people don't care about Cody. People truly care about Cody in this community.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and then this one just talks about that they upheld the $80,000 bond without restrictions, basically saying that he does get to stay out on bond. And so this was 2 days ago. But again, there's no like, hey, we're going to be covering this. We're going to be streaming this at our channel. Here's the link. Like, none of that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It just sucks. I really hope we find out tomorrow that there is going to be some type of coverage.
Yeah.
It just says that the jury selection begins for the murder trial next week.
Right.
So, but I don't know. I mean, that's pretty much all of the news that we have as far as Cody goes.
Right.
So, let me pull up this stuff. Sorry. Any final thoughts on Cody? Go ahead.
No. Lisbeth, actually, the AWOL from the military. I'm trying to remember that myself. I remember reading something, but I don't recall any more in-depth information on that. So,
oops, I have to close that. Let me pull that up.
There you go.
So he was, let's see here. I can't remember the exact details.
Yeah, it's been so long. See, that's also part of the problem with so many of these cases. At the beginning, everyone's following. And then because so many of them keep getting pushed out further and further and further, more people, including us, we forget little bits and pieces, and we have to go back and remind ourselves about everything.
Right.
There's
And
some
I think
really
it's
great
something that we need to do, or I need to do really, is if they don't show us the trial, then I'll just go back through. But this article here that I just shared with you guys in the chat, it really does link every single update that they had from the time that he was reported missing, and give you kind of like a brief overview and then some videos and things like that of things as they happened, so that you can see that information, basically, all the times that he was denied bail and different things like that.
I thought
The
it was
different
funny.
charges. Go ahead.
Both you and I were looking up Cody, trying to update ourselves and everything, and we both came to each other with the same exact link. So it's actually really, exactly. It's a good link. It definitely. See him? Oh my,
Okay,
yeah.
and
Pandemic
so
did push back.
I am going to switch us over to Elijah. Not very much as far as updates in the way of things since this morning. You guys do know that I went live about that this morning. And let me pull up. I just want to pull up and confirm with the Two Rivers police department to make sure that they didn't post
Oh,
anything
thanks.
since this afternoon. Oh, and they did, actually.
They've been really good. I haven't seen that bit yet. Then they've been actually pretty good at trying to keep everyone up to date.
Yeah, they're doing awesome. And
Yeah.
that's what we like to see for sure.
Yep.
So he posted that this was posted at 4:30 p.m. their time. It says Elijah has not been located. I love that they start right at the top with
Yeah.
that because, you know, that's what the question on every single person's mind is going to be is, was he found yet?
Yeah.
They said today we expanded our urban and rural neighborhood search canvas and continued searches of our waterways and shoreline. Canines were also out checking and rechecking various areas. Sorry, I had to yawn for some reason, like right there. It was like,
Exactly. You sleepy? What?
Please continue to call our tip line at 844-267-6648 or submit information via the Crime Stoppers app with any information that you think could be helpful. And then they just go through the $1,000 reward, $15,000 press conference, or $15,000 from the FBI. And we have seen an increase in tips and information. Continue to follow up on all of the leads. Let me stress, guys, please do not call with internet speculations.
Oh God, please no.
Please don't please don't make a phone
Yeah.
call unless you are, um
It's real.
if you
Yeah.
have actual information, firsthand knowledge, I guess is what I should say. Unless you have firsthand knowledge, if somebody else posts a tip in a Facebook group,
Yeah.
please do not also call the tip line, right?
Yeah.
If somebody is saying, "Hey guys, look what I found. I called it in already." You do not need to add to a call and send that information in also. You know, let the
Right.
firsthand person, and also if you have tips, maybe don't share them with the Facebook group. That
That'd
would
be a good idea. That would be a very good idea. And all. But yeah, no, that's the reason why we've talked in the past how many times many localities don't want to go to the public. And it's because people will do exactly that. So let's give them a reason to actually continue coming to us rather than
right. Hi, Cupcake.
cupcake.
Okay, and so this video, a retired FBI agent shared experience with cases similar to Elijah's. And so I thought this one was interesting. Let me see if I can.
Look at that gorgeous Mazda. It's a 2024 Mazda. Oh, yay. And we can skip them.
Authorities began looking for Elijah Vue.
He was reported missing in Two Rivers over a week ago. Amber Alert was issued later that day. Take a look at your screen now. He's about 3 feet tall, between 45 and 50 pounds, has brown hair and brown eyes. Elijah also has a birthmark on his left knee.
In a First Alert update, Brittany Schmidt is in Two Rivers learning more from authorities tonight. Brittany.
Cammy Bill, Two Rivers police say the new reward amount of up to $15,000 for any information that leads to Elijah is bringing in more leads. A retired FBI Special Agent David Fallon spent his entire career investigating crimes against children. He tells me an increased reward may lead to some false reports, but that is why they likely have an experienced investigator triaging those tips. Investigators are up against a moving clock, canvassing neighborhoods, searching waterways, and rechecking areas with canines. Time is a major factor here, now more than a week with no sign of Elijah. Fallon says he's been following the case, and from the outside looking in, he says these cases represent a particular challenge to law enforcement.
In my opinion, they're very challenging because of the nature of the report itself. You have a very young child who was reported missing. There are a definite lack of witnesses who have information about the case. So it represents a challenge to law enforcement to follow an investigative plan. Where do we search? Who do we canvass? Who do we talk to? What evidence should we be exploiting?
We checked in with Elijah's family today. They tell us their focus and might remain on their dire request and efforts to find Elijah. Reporting in Two Rivers, Brittany Schmidt, Action 2 News.
Here's the little boy's picture one more time. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $15,000 for information that could lead to the location of Elijah or the arrest of those involved in his disappearance. Call the phone number you see on your screen if you have any information.
And yep, he had his shoes on again. Another case of children with their shoes on. What is interesting is if you look at the story that we're being told, initially we were told that Elijah was sleeping. Now we're finding out no, he supposedly was standing up, being punished and having to pray and say, I'm sorry, mommy, at that time. So
The take on the shoe. I'm curious what you guys think about the shoe, because they did find one and it was like recorded. Their finding just so happened to be filmed by the news. And so they seen that whole situation. Do you think that that shoe could have been planted?
I personally have thought, I think the timing of it myself was awful coincidental.
I agree.
Too coincidental. It was an
I wanna
area, yeah. I think people even said they had already looked in that area too, someone said.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we need some evidence out there. I'm actually
Mhm.
I'm gonna pull up the mob crew
Okay.
and show you guys. Did you see the video of the shoe?
I think
Yeah.
I did once, but not, yeah, I think it was a one-time thing way at the
So
beginning.
so he pulls up like the area as to where the shoe was found, and people thought that it was like really near the trash can. And so in my mind, I was thinking, could it have fallen out of the trash can while he was throwing. Sorry,
Oh,
this
I
sounds
see what you're
horrible, but
saying.
could he have fallen out of the trash can while he was throwing him into the trash, right?
Right,
But
right,
then it wasn't actually found like that close to the trash can. It was actually found around the side of that building,
right.
and it was like kind of up against the building, and it was just kind of planted there.
Yeah.
And he plays the video of them like scooping it up. So the trash can's like over on this side or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was more behind.
Yeah, it was more on the side of the building than it was.
But I think I figured.
No, I'm not gonna play his audio. I just wanted to see the video.
Yeah, and see.
Ugh.
I do know it was more, wasn't it like trash day also? So that kind of, I
Yeah.
could see
So
where you
here's
would
the
have thought
trash
that
can,
initially.
and then here's the building that it was actually
Far
found
away.
by. And so a lot of people are thinking now, like it was completely planted there to make it look like, oh, he was outside playing and he lost a shoe.
Yeah.
Because, what's more likely, a child leaving with their shoes on, or a child leaving with being worried enough to put shoes on and leave,
Shoes on.
and then just
Yeah.
leave their shoe behind somewhere.
Exactly. Totally. And people, no, it's just too many things with that. Just people had gone through the area to begin with. Okay. I don't know who. Would it have been them who set it up or someone else who just wanted attention? I think that's a possibility. Sorry, one second. Continue. My mom's coming in.
Mhm. No, that's my thought too, because I'm like, was it planted there by Jesse to make it look like, yeah, Elijah was out there walking around, or was it planted there by, somebody else, one of these? But at the same
Couple
time,
minutes of, yeah.
I will say that there really hasn't been like, there is people following it on social media, but not like they're present like we seen with Audrii, or like we seen with.
True.
So the likelihood of somebody from the outside coming in and planting the shoe, I think, is less likely
Yeah.
than Jesse going to plant the shoe to make
Yeah.
it look like Elijah was
No,
out there
that does
walking
make
around.
sense. Whether okay, unless there's someone locally, okay, but locally they've had a lot of local attention to it, but not YouTube, Facebook, TikTok level of
Mhm.
interest. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
good point there.
So this article here, last one I'm gonna show on Elijah, is from the family. This one is from, goodness, 7:11 PM. So just kidding, it's another
When
ad.
Aleve works all
This one's
day.
for Aleve. Take some Aleve, you guys.
Take some leave because it's so important when you're sitting cutting hair, and yeah, you got to sit there for what, an hour on a very uncomfortable chair. Okay, there we go.
Has been hurting since Elijah Vue went missing on February 20th. I'm your Lakeshore neighborhood reporter, Preston Stober, and today I'm talking with the group that's hurting the most. It's Elijah Vue's family, as I join them on a search. The Vue family is very close.
When we come together and, put a plan in place, we go through with it.
Elijah's uncle, Orson Vue, says the family is strong, but hurting.
It breaks my heart when I think about it.
Since Elijah disappeared last Tuesday, the family has been on foot, coming through parks and forests.
I was gonna say, like, okay, so Katrina and Jesse are arrested, but her extended family, Elijah's extended family, are out there searching hardcore.
They are. They are. And this is that perfect example if we were just talking about Cody and Cory and all that. Okay. I remember when that was starting up, no one seemed to be focused on poor little Cody. It was more, let's keep talking on this. And yet in this case, they're like, you know what? There's this little guy who's missing out there. And our focus is making sure, okay, the law enforcement side, let them deal with that on that side. We're going to make sure that we're looking for our nephew, our, whatever, cousin, whatever you want to call it. And they're working hard.
Yeah. Yeah, freaking press conference from the family for Cody. They were sitting there crying about Cory the entire time. Not one tear shed for Cody.
Nope.
So
I got so mad in Instagram because I'm sitting here saying, okay, well, forget it. I don't care about him. I want to focus on Cody. And everyone kept coming back. Oh, but you don't get that. This is I'm like, no, there's a little boy who needs to be found.
Yep.
So.
All over Manitowoc County. I was the only reporter asked to join them on their latest search.
It does give us a little peace of mind in that sense that we are putting a lot of effort into finding Elijah.
On Tuesday, Two Rivers Police held a press conference. Elijah's grandma, Leah Vang, asked the community not to give up.
I want my grandson to be home with my family. So I want everybody to continue. Don't stop. Just searching for my baby Elijah.
Vang is a mother of 9 and a grandmother of 26, including Elijah and 2 of Orson's kids.
That's the ultimate plan. Is just, having them meet, having them get to know each other, run around and play.
A large family, all united by one goal: finding Elijah.
It hurts, and it's hard. It's hard to face sometimes. Where it's just he's not here, and we don't know where he is.
The Vue family will continue to search, based here at the Mikado Theater in Manitowoc, where they will meet every morning at 9 a.m. for at least the remainder of the week. In Manitowoc, Preston Stober, NBC 26.
So they are going to be there every single day if anybody wants to join them and help search.
And I know yesterday there were people talking about, they've been meeting there every day. They're letting people know exactly where to go. Okay, so it's coordinated. And maybe this is where that cultural side comes in of how close and tight an Ohana can be. And you definitely get that feeling of how close everyone is and how they're trying to support each other through this.
Yeah, I agree. So then this next thing is about Audrii. Audrii Cunningham, her father released a statement, and I'm honestly mostly just curious as to what your thoughts are on this. I know what my thoughts are on this. We'll play the video. I'm not sure if they read the statement. If not, I'll read it at the bottom.
First time Audrii's father's side of the family is saying anything publicly since.
Now, mind you, they were silent during the entire investigation. Not really one word. We've seen Cassie come out multiple times on different YouTube channels. She was just on with Nancy Grace. We're going to talk more in depth about Audrii tomorrow morning, over here. And, but she also released a bunch of text messages between her and dad because people were, you know, throwing a whole bunch of shade at Cassie about the whole situation and alleging that she was able to see Audrey and stuff like that. And so she shared, the messages, the threatening ones and stuff back and forth. There's a lot that happened behind their background, behind their past between mom and dad. A lot of that, in my opinion, should have never really been brought public. I understand why she did to a certain extent, like almost in defense of herself. But to me, whenever your kid is missing, whenever your kid is, we watched this with Gannon's case, and I
Right.
hated it, right?
Oh, God,
Because
yes.
Landon was constantly attacking Albert. And
Right.
whenever she wasn't doing it, she was using her social media friends
Yeah.
to publicly attack Albert. And Albert got a lot of hate
Yep.
through that because of that situation. Now, nobody is the perfect parent. Nobody, I'm sure they all have their faults. They all mess up and things like that. But whenever you're already going through the worst time ever, like I would hate to add to those negative feelings that people already have about the situation because they already consider you to have failed your child. We already are looking at you and saying, "Wow, what kind of crap parents are you to leave your kid with a, you know, horrible person?"
Right. Right. Well, and I look at so many times in these cases, I think you hear about when there's a tragedy in a family, many times that family ends up with divorce or something like that just
Mhm.
because of the stress from it. So you got people, especially if they're already fighting, it brings out that side of them because, of course, in the back of their head, I'm sure they're already blaming the other person for what happened. But what they forget is that when you come together, okay, and you're there for that missing child or whoever it is, the victim or whatever, you're actually stronger for
Stronger.
that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
That
can honestly
ohana. Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that that's like 100% the truth because we watched in Ariel's case, whenever people were together in a united front, they got so much done. But as soon as they started letting their public disputes happen and
Yep.
their public falling apart happen and all of that stuff, it was broken. And a
You
lot
have
of
to
the
remember.
people
Yeah.
stopped pushing for the things that they were pushing for. And so, we watched that in Gannon's case a little bit, that united front wasn't there after a little while.
Right.
Albert and Landon were standing on press conferences. They were standing on videos together. And then out of nowhere, there was all this hurt and anger towards each other. And then I think we're doing the same thing now between
Yeah.
Cassie and Audrey's father because there is a lot of hurt and shame and guilt and all of the things in the back. And then they're adding this grief of their daughter on top of it. And it just
Exactly.
makes it so much like, where do you put all of the pain whenever you're
Right.
just overflowing with it? And so it's just so easy to throw it at somebody that you
Oh, it
already
is.
have disdain
Yeah.
for.
I look at, like, for example, Gianna right now. Okay. Her parents, okay, have had issues they're not together anymore, things like that and all. And yet they've tried to come together and realize we have to address all this as the parents of Gianna, not as two separated people. And it made a difference when we had the walk. We had so many people there. Okay, we literally, there were times we were counting 40 to 60 people there. And Hawaii, you're lucky if you get 10 people for a walk. But
Mhm.
that's because people came together and realized, you know what, the best way we're going to be able to make a stand. Okay, Audrey, family wants to make a stand and make some changes to laws and stuff like that. Well, you got to pull together and be supportive of each other during that.
Yep. Yep. So anyways, let me play this video. I just wanted to put my little spiel about their public back and forth out there, like before we even get into the statement. The statement I don't think has anything to do really with that other than the fact that, I just don't think that not everything belongs on the internet. Not
Agree.
everything does. So,
Since the 11-year-old's murder.
Marcelino Benito in the newsroom tonight. Marcelino, you received an email from the family today.
Len and Mia, that's right. Audrey's grandfather, Captain Philip Munch, reached out to me today. He says the family is still deep in shock, but they now want to start to set the record straight. Nearly 1 week since Audrey Cunningham's body was pulled from the Trinity River, her father's family releasing a lengthy statement, their first public comment since Audrey went missing on February 15th. Tragically, Audrey's death occurred at the hands of a monster we thought was a friend, only 10 days after Audrey's 11th birthday, the family wrote. That monster, charged with capital murder, is Don Stephen McDougal, who lived in a camper in the family's backyard. The family writes, "We are being attacked and criticized on social media platforms for showing compassion and mercy to this formerly incarcerated person. But our interactions with this person were a result of our faith, which teaches us to give our fellow man a second chance." McDougal has a lengthy criminal history dating back to 2001, but his 2007 conviction of enticing a child with intent never required him to register as a sex offender. The family says the system failed them, telling us, McDougal had a history of disrespect for young female children, but it did not show up when we checked the registry before allowing him to stay in our backyard while he tried to start a new life. Had we been aware of what we know now, this man would never have set foot on our property, much less been a part of our little girl's life.
okay. So I'm going to read the full statement
Yeah, read it
after
before we
this.
talk. Yeah.
But I just want to say there's a lot of coulda, shoulda, wouldas on there, right?
Yeah.
And I have my Christianity and my faith, and I also believe that you need to forgive people, you need to allow room for change and things like that. But I am fully 110,000% positive that allowing somebody to change or grow would never happen around a young child, in my opinion. No matter what type of crime that he committed.
Right.
She didn't need that type of influence in her life. Period.
And my thing that I keep coming back with this whole thing is even outside of that, they were allowing one-on-one time. Okay. And yes, people can change. I do believe people can. The majority of people don't, but they can. Okay. And giving people chances and stuff like that, that's great. If you're in the right setup and you have the ability to do it. I mean, having him taking her to the bus with no one else. Sorry. I just, yeah, I've got a couple concerns within that too.
Yep.
Each their own.
Audrey's grandfather sending us new photos of his granddaughter, describing her as charismatic, beautiful, talented, and kind. They say she wanted to become a vet or an animal trainer. She touched so many lives and filled them with joy and happiness that was infectious. Audrey will be missed by a great many people, wrote her grandfather. The family's focus now, laying Audrey to rest in a few days and changing laws to close the loophole in sex offender registry laws. Her grandfather telling me via email they've been viciously attacked on social media. They're hoping that by starting to comment publicly, that starts to die down. At some point next week, he tells me they do plan to do interviews and answer questions in person.
I think that's a mistake. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah.
I think that's a mistake.
It's going to make it worse, to be honest.
I agree. I agree, especially after the statement. Okay, and so let me read through this full statement here. It says 1 week ago on Thursday, the 15th of February, 2024, Audrey was lured under false pretenses, which led to a senseless act of violence occurring and ultimately her death. Tragically, Audrey's death occurred at the hands of a monster we thought was a friend only 10 days after her 11th birthday. Audrey was a charismatic, beautiful, talented, and kind young lady. She loved singing, dancing, reading, and painting, and she was even learned of the skills of a tattoo artist. Most of all, caring for and playing with animals was her passion. Audrey's aspirations were to become a veterinarian or an animal trainer. Every day, Audrey was out caring for our pets and walking our dogs. She would even walk the dogs of the neighbors in the subdivision. She touched so many lives and filled them with joy and happiness that was infectious. She had so much energy and brought a passion to everything she did. Audrey will be missed by a great many people. The Munch and Cunningham families are devastated and grieving for what happened to our little ray of sunshine, Audrey. We are being attacked and criticized on social media platforms for showing compassion and mercy to this formerly incarcerated person. But our interactions with this person were a result of our faith, which teaches us to give our fellow man a second chance. Unfortunately, the system failed us due to the loophole in the sex offender registration system. Don Stephen McDougal had a history of disrespect for young female children, but it did not show up when we checked the registry before allowing him to stay in an old camper in our backyard when he tried to start a new life. Had we been aware of what we know now, this man would have never set foot on our property, much less been a part of our little girl's life. We wish to acknowledge and thank the Polk County Sheriff's Office, the Livingston Police Department, the Texas State Troopers, Texas Rangers, Texas State Guard, the Trinity River Authority, the FBI, nearby county sheriff departments, as well as the thousands of volunteers, our local VFW post, and the public for helping to search for and ultimately find the body of Audrey. We also wish to thank the nonprofit organization Texas EquiSearch for their tireless efforts that ultimately led to the discovery of and recovery of Audrey's body from the waters of the Trinity River. This was a hard-working, multi-jurisdictional effort that spent long hours in order to bring our angel Audrey home to us and bring this monster to justice. We also wish to acknowledge and thank the members of the press who helped spread the word when the Amber Alert went out and quickly pulled our community together with the common goal of bringing our little girl back home safe and sound. This coverage was considered invaluable to help focus attention and gather valuable leads that helped the search efforts. We were advised not to speak with the press. This I believe, because we see this in a ton of missing cases. I've even told parents, don't talk to nobody until you know what's going on or until you speak to a lawyer.
Who you do.
Yes. 100%. Like I myself have advised people to talk to a lawyer and stuff like that. Cover your bases just to know. And so, and it is very well, honestly, the way that this is written, it would not surprise me if they had a lawyer type this information up.
A lawyer, when I read that, it completely felt like a lawyer, legalese. It really did.
Yes. Yeah, especially whenever they started talking about this was a hardworking multi-jurisdictional, I'm sorry, no common person is going to say multi-jurisdictional.
Yeah, exactly.
Period.
Maybe they gave the lawyer a list of these are some of the things we want you to address, but it's written by a lawyer.
Yeah.
Sure.
We also wish to acknowledge and thank the members of wait, I read that part. Hold on. So we were advised not to speak to the press during this time as it may have impeded the search for Audrey or shifted the focus from finding her. Audrey will be missed, but hopefully not forgotten, as we would like to ask legislators and law enforcement. Sorry. Has your crisp thing been popping up a pop-up window lately?
Yes.
It's driving me insane. It just
used to wait till the end to do it. Now it does it in the middle to let me know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's driving me crazy.
And so she will be missed, but not forgotten, as we would like legislators and law enforcement, both locally and in Washington, D.C., to look at the loophole that prevented us from knowing what Don McDougal was, a convicted sex offender. The registry is a valuable tool that helps parents and grandparents everywhere use to keep their children safe from these violent predators. This failing of the system is a crime that we cannot allow to go overlooked. There will be a memorial ceremony for the repose of the soul of Audrey at the First Baptist Church in Livingston, Texas on Friday, the 1st of March, 2024, between the hours of 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. The public who helped in this effort are invited to attend. Please wear purple, which was Audrey's favorite color. A private funeral ceremony will be held the next day for close family and friends only. Please respect us in our time of grieving as we lay our precious angel to rest. So, I want to know your overall thoughts of the letter, and then we can talk a little bit more in depth about different parts.
First of all, I get not coming out earlier, okay, being warned and all that. The problem is, I think them coming out from the get go may have been more helpful, even if it was just to share pictures of her. When they're like, oh, we're looking at all these pictures and all that. And I'm like, those might have, especially when we didn't know where she was. We all know pictures are important.
Yep.
I definitely don't know, for example, I have problems with the whole fact that anything can slip through anyone's grasp. Okay. It's very possible they did do a search of the registry. Okay. It's also possible that that's what they wish they had done, and then they never would have found it. Okay. Because it wouldn't have helped them no matter what. I just, even with everything else, from what you know of the guy as a friend, is he the type of person you would have felt comfortable with your 10, 11-year-old daughter having one-on-one time with?
Right.
Okay, that's my problem with this whole thing.
So I agree with you. And then the other side of things is on social media, wide open in the public, he is like propositioning people for sex. And you know, he has these violent things that kept happening. He had this, like, he had so many things. And it's like, even if he wasn't on the S registry, why in a million years? Like, did you actually background check him? And then if you are going with my Christian faith told me to forgive, right? Forgive and forget. Every sinner has a past, every saint has a past, every sinner has a future, right? And that's fine. But if you're going to go with that and you're really thinking like he's a changed man, everything is different, then the behavior should have stopped.
Should reflect it. And that's the issue. It was not reflecting it.
He continuously had these issues. And so my thing is, so we're hearing that this statement was from Grandpa. Grandpa was out on the boat, gone for months at a time, weeks at a time, right? What did Grandma tell him about Don Stephen McDougal? And that's where my thing is. And I'm not pointing the finger of blame and things like that, but at the same time, like, you can't help but understand where the public scrutiny is. The issue is it'll never bring her back. As much hate that we throw at them, as much responsibility as we feel that they hold, it'll never bring her back. All we can do is pray that this awareness is out there for the next person, for the next family that's seen this and thinks, I feel really bad for that guy. I should let them live in a camper in my backyard because I feel really bad for him. Or, yeah, I got a spare room. Maybe I should just let this guy stay there. Maybe he can change. Sure, that's fine. Don't leave him alone with your children, though.
See, and that's where my thing is. I'm like, okay, fine. They're trying to give him a place to live and stuff like that. I'm still a little nervous about that, but okay. But he should never have had one-on-one time with Audrey.
Never in a million years. Yep.
Comes a place where you have to use, most of us, when we looked at him and did a little research and all, without even going into the registry. Okay, think about the first time that he popped up on, and yes, I don't want to prejudge people. Okay, I don't like doing that. But when we looked at him, okay, and read a little bit about him without even getting into the registry issues, we were like, oh, I don't know if I'd have my kids around this guy. And it's just something about when you see someone, you get that gut feeling in you. And I think most of us got that gut feeling. And it's just, and the things that do make me feel fairly good is her teachers did say that she was a very happy girl and all that. So hopefully nothing ever really did happen. And maybe this was just the start of it all. Oh God, I hope so. But he never, just knowing that she was having to go to school with him every single day makes no sense.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I just wanted to get your take on it because I read this earlier and I was like, maybe it was yesterday. I don't even know. My days are going together now because I was live 36 times today. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think also they're doing a little bit, not a little bit too late, a little bit too late. They're doing a whole bunch a little too late.
Yeah.
Okay. It almost starts to feel defensive rather
Well, see,
than, yeah.
that's part of where I wonder when grandpa came home. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Like, how many days did it take him after she was first initially reported missing to be
Right.
able to get home? Because I know that we heard at one point that they were stuck out on the boat and
True.
couldn't get back home. And so was grandma sitting there alone, terrified because she brought this guy into her,
Right.
you know, into the life. And then all of this public attacking and scrutiny and everything else like that. You know, did it make her scared to even
Scared.
say anything
Yeah.
because she was by herself?
Yeah. Fear of those things, the guilt, because I'm sure there's got to be a tremendous amount of guilt on top of it. And then there were issues going on, okay, with both sides of the family jumping on each other instead of just sitting there and saying, okay, we need to be here for this little girl right now. How can we be part of searching? How can we be part of doing all those things?
Yep.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. There's some other things going on too. I kind of mentioned one of them to you in private chat. I think there's still so much going on with this, and I think much of it is covering stuff rather than just, and it's going to make it worse. Okay, hands down, this is going to make it worse. If everything was slowly starting to calm down and disappear, okay, if it had gotten down to say a level 3, now it's back to level 8.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Well, thank you so much, Logo. I'm gonna
okay,
end
my
this.
dear.
I know we're close to the 2-hour mark. I don't know what
Oh
time.
my gosh, yes.
Every single live today, I've been like, oh, the one this morning, first thing, I was like, oh my God, it's like 11 o'clock. And I was scheduled to work at 11. I was like, oh,
Oh no.
I gotta get off here.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
good tonight,
Nope.
though.
You got it. You'll get some sleep tonight.
So
If
I
you
did
stop
schedule
running.
off all week next week during the day. And so if by
Just in
chance they
case.
do not stream the hearing, we'll still be able to do
Have
something.
updates, find ways
Mhm.
to do update. Well, it's kind of like with Ariel. It's not going to be streamed, so you got to find other ways to gather the information.
Yeah, but you're gonna be in there sending me
I'm going to be
messages,
there.
play
Oh
by plays, and
yes.
then I'll sit here and read it the whole time. We'll just have a picture.
Exactly. We'll find ways for me to use my Apple Watch to send you messages throughout the whole thing.
We'll have to come up with a coded language.
Exactly.
So you have to type so many
Oh
words.
my gosh. If they have trials sometime in the next decade, we'll put it that way.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it.
Hmm.
So.
You know what we'll do is we'll sneak one of those little tiny recorder pens in.
That's it. That's it. We'll go James Bond level on this.
Love it. So if you guys want to, let me get this to drop. This is the tip link. Just in case, you know, Loco needs bail money after I'm just kidding.
Once I'm over there, she can get me out. I love it. I love it, girl.
Once we get, you know, we gotta get some stuff and some money to pay off some fines after we start.
Exactly. Yeah, for every one of those things when I get mad next time. Oh my God. Trust me, I was so ready to get mad last week. I was so pissed. try anything like that. I could see me going into something and then putting it off another month or something, a couple months, and be like, yes, I know, I'm being weird, aren't I? Yeah.
All right, let's go. I'll see you guys later.
Aloha.
Have a good night.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.
Bye-bye.